There are two kinds of sport side-by-sides: sport performers and sport pretenders. Performers are built from the ground up for recreational riding. Every component designed, tested, and tuned for sport performance. Pretenders are dual-purpose machines, tweeners that try to combine an odd mix of recreation and utility features. If you're serious about sport riding, it's time you learn to tell the difference. The moment you step into a Ranger RZR, you know you're in a true sport side-by-side. Every member of the Ranger RZR family is built to deliver razor-sharp performance, the ultimate combination of power, suspension, and agility. Ranger RZR models crank out up to 88 horses, the absolute highest of any production side-by-side, while the Pretenders roll out with as little as 40 horsepower. Low weight is just as important as high power. That's why Ranger RZR has the lightest side-by-sides in the industry. And Ranger RZR leads the way with the highest horsepower to weight ratios, most rear wheel torque, and quickest acceleration. Power's no good without the suspension to handle it, so all Ranger RZRs feature durable, sport-tuned suspensions, front and rear. The Ranger RZR family dominates the bumps with the longest travel, highest ground clearance, and longest wheelbase of any sport side-by-side. And every Ranger RZR model is perfectly paired with high-performance shocks built to meet the extreme demands of recreational sport riding. Agility is what happens when power and suspension come together in a responsive sport chassis. Once again, Ranger RZR leads the way. The Ranger RZR family includes the narrowest, nimblest side-by-side on the planet, especially designed for tackling tight trails. All RZRs feature a patented engine behind the seat design for the lowest seat height and the lowest center of gravity of any side-by-side. Combine that with the industry's lowest weights, and it's no surprise the Ranger RZR family corners flatter, responds quicker, and handles better than any and all Pretenders. As the only side-by-sides to deliver the ultimate combination of power, suspension, and agility, the Ranger RZR family clearly dominates the competition. Ranger RZR 800 is the first and only trail-capable side-by-side. At just 50 inches wide, it revolutionized recreational riding. To be a trail-capable machine, you have to be allowed on the trails. Ranger RZR 800 goes where the sport Pretenders can't, and outperforms them when it gets there, delivering the ultimate combination of power, suspension, and agility for tight trail riding. Ranger RZR-S is the only true sport performance side-by-side. Despite an ever-growing field of Pretenders, there's not a single competitor that can match it for true off-trail sport riding. The Ranger RZR-S is the lightest machine in its class, up to 400 pounds lighter than the Pretenders. Its twin-cylinder high-output 800 EFI engine delivers faster throttle response and quicker corner-to-corner acceleration than any Pretender. Ranger RZR-S has an aggressive sport-tuned suspension that leads its class in both suspension travel and ground clearance, and the premium components are purpose-built to stand up to the extreme demands of sport riding. As for agility, nothing can touch the Ranger RZR-S. By combining its light weight with a center of gravity that's up to 14% lower than the Pretenders, it corners flatter and responds quicker than anything else in its class. Ranger RZR4 is the only 4-seat sport side-by-side. It carries more people than any Pretender and outperforms them all while doing it. It has the same great core features as Ranger RZR-S, plus the industry's longest wheelbase to soak up even the biggest whoops like they're not even there. Ranger RZR 4 is the ultimate 4-person thrill ride. It's a true, no-compromise performer that just happens to be the only four-seat sport machine on the planet. The all-new Ranger RZR XP is the only extreme performance side-by-side. This is the RZR platform taken to the extreme. It's powered by a new twin-cylinder, 4-valve, dual overhead cam engine cranking out 88 horsepower. It's got the industry's highest power-to-weight ratio and rockets off the line. The all-new totally extreme rear suspension is a fully independent 3-link design that looks and works like a sandrail. Combining Ranger RZR's legendary low center of gravity with an astounding 13 inches of ground clearance and 14 inches of travel, Ranger RZR XP takes agility to the extreme. From its sport-tuned exhaust to its industry-first LED headlights, the Ranger RZR XP launches a whole new class in sport riding, the extreme performance side-by-side. One by one, or as a group, the results are the same. Ranger RZR is the only family of side-by-sides that deliver razor-sharp performance. The ultimate combination of power, suspension, and agility. It's time to quit pretending and start performing. It's time for a Ranger RZR.